Developing right now on Morning News Now, bracing for Erin this morning. The Atlantic coast spared from a direct hit, but still feeling the impacts of the Category 2 hurricane. Rough surf and dangerous rip currents shutting down beaches up and down the East Coast as officials warn locals and tourists to stay out of the water. We're tracking Erin's path and the warnings in place, plus what to expect where you live. Also this morning, plans for peace now in the works as the White House confirms Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to face-to-face talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, with President Trump prepared to join them. All this just days after those high-stakes meetings with both sides and European leaders. But now new doubts that Russia is ready to end the war as the White House rules out sending ground forces to enforce a truce.
The president has definitively stated U.S. boots will not be on the ground in Ukraine, but we can certainly help in the coordination and perhaps provide other means of security guarantees.
Meanwhile, Russia intensifying its attacks on Ukraine. We will bring you the latest. Plus, federal fallout, the Justice Department launching an investigation into D.C.'s police department over allegations it manipulated data to lower the city's crime rates. This as the National Guard continues to patrol the area. We'll have an update for you from Washington. And feeling the heat in more ways than one, why researchers say our spell of summer heat waves could be harmful to our long-term health. It has felt like it has been hot forever.
Something we've been dealing with the past few summers, it feels like. Good morning. Good to have you with us on this Wednesday. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We're going to begin this morning on the East Coast, where Hurricane Erin is expected to bring dangerous conditions. Portions of the Outer Banks in North Carolina, they're on high alert for heavy wind and rain today as Hurricane Erin churns closer to the coast. Mandatory evacuation orders are in place in the area as a precaution.
The storm was downgraded to a Category 2 on Tuesday, and it is expected to move away from the U.S. in the coming days. But forecasters are still warning of life-threatening rip currents in coastal areas of the Atlantic. These dangerous swimming conditions are prompting beach closures and advisories up and down the East Coast. Officials from New England to Florida are encouraging people to stay out of the water. Meteorologist Angie Lassman is standing by. We begin with NBC News national correspondent Erin Gilchrist, who's in North Carolina with the latest. Erin, good morning.
North Carolina's Outer Banks do expect to see tropical storm conditions before the sun goes down today. It's what people here have been preparing for the last several days. We know that evacuation orders have already been executed, really, as you look at Hatteras Island and Ocracoke Island along the Outer Banks here. And the expectation is that the waves you see behind me will continue to increase in ferocity and increase in size as the day goes on into tonight, when we also expect to see some rainfall, and into tomorrow as well. We know that the storm surge expectation is about 2 to 4 feet in this area. There's also a risk of coastal flooding really extending from South Florida all the way up to the Boston area. So any parts of the eastern seaboard can expect to see much more wave action and potentially flooding, more so than they might expect under these sorts of conditions, when we know that this large hurricane is still far out to sea. It's 400 or so miles plus maybe from the North Carolina coast at this point, but it's going to get a little bit closer, and that's when we expect to see potentially waves that could reach 15 or 20 feet in height. The warning for everybody is to stay away from the water, not just to stay out of the water as you look at all these different places along the East Coast. The advisory is to just stay away from the water because it could push onto beaches or oceanfront property very quickly, and officials here are warning folks not to get too close and put their lives at risk. They've also warned people to, as early as possible, check their property to make sure that things are secured for any water that may come farther inland. Those are the warnings set out right now. We know there are people on Hatteras Island here in North Carolina who've chosen to stay and ride out the storm. If the major highway there does wash out, some of those people are likely to be stuck potentially for several days. The folks we spoke to said they're ready to ride out the storm under those conditions. Again, dangerous rip currents expected all up and down the eastern seaboard, and the advisory for everyone on the East Coast is to stay away from the beaches as much as possible. Back to you.
All right, Erin, thank you. Let's bring in meteorologist Angie Lassman.
Yeah, she's back with us, and she is keeping a close eye on Hurricane Erin's path. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Yes, we still have Category 2 Erin, and we're still going to continue to feel those impacts along the eastern coast, the indirect impacts. The system right now, 100 miles per hour, still just over 450 miles to the south-southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. It's moving northwest at 13 miles per hour, and we are expecting that northerly track to continue here in the coming days and kind of maintain that Category 2 strength. And even still, with it sitting so far offshore, it's still going to have those indirect impacts. And we're talking about specifically the coastal flooding concerns, the storm surge, the potential for impressive wave heights, all of that on top of rip currents as well. So here's the alerts that we have right now when it comes to coastal flooding. Notice Seaside Heights, Wildwood, stretching down to Virginia Beach and points south from across parts of the Carolinas. We have the potential to see 2 to 4 feet of inundation, and we're likely going to see some roads washed over, maybe some damage to the beaches due to erosion. But this is all going to be ongoing over the next couple of days. And on top of that, notice some of the minor to major flooding that's already occurring across these areas. Where you see that bright pink, that's major flooding. So we're going to see that extensive flooding likely for the Atlantic and Chesapeake Bay. This is going to be something, again, for the next couple of days. Here's how those wave heights track over the next couple of days. Notice how far offshore this system is, but still 10 to 15 feet waves, up to 20 feet in some spots. The worst of it is going to remain, of course, closer to the center, but it's going to be so expansive here over the next day or so that we'll see those impacts closer to the coast. And on top of that, that high risk of rip currents, again, the impassable roads because of overwash and beach erosion will be something that you'll see if you live up and down the East Coast. There's the storm surge that we're expecting, like 2 to 4 feet likely for Cape Hatteras. And then the farther north you go up into Virginia Beach, about 1 to 3 feet. Same thing the farther south you go, Myrtle Beach, Wrightsville Beach included in that. One thing to know, we do have an expanding wind field with this system. So right now, about 440 miles across. As we get through the day today and it gets really just offshore of the Carolinas, we're going to see that tropical storm force wind field expand, and we're talking more than 500 miles across. So that means that we likely will see those tropical storm force winds for folks in that region, the Carolinas, included Cape Hatteras. You could see a peak wind gust of 53 miles per hour. And this is today and tomorrow, guys. We'll start to see things kind of improving beyond that. But in the meantime, the next couple of days, we'll see the storm surge, the wind, the high waves, all of it, really the coastal impacts that are impacting coast there.
It seems to be taking its time.
Taking its time for sure. Moving still northerly. We're still expecting, not a direct impact, but those indirect impacts are expansive.
All right. Thanks, Angie.
Thank you. Well, now let's get to some other big news this morning. NBC News understands that the Trump administration is weighing possible locations for face-to-face peace talks between Russian President Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky. That is after the White House said the Russian leader had agreed to meet with his Ukrainian counterpart as part of an effort to end the war. NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Haake joins us now. Garrett, good morning. So what are we learning about the potential locations for this meeting? And why does the president want to sit out the first summit and only join a subsequent session, we understand?
Well, Savannah, the president believes that ultimately this war's end is going to have to be negotiated by Presidents Zelensky and Putin. He sees himself as someone who could perhaps help that process along, but if he's not necessary, better to just stay out of the room. Where that room is, though, is very much an open question, an issue complicated in part by the fact that the International Criminal Court has an arrest warrant out for Vladimir Putin, which would require its member states to arrest him on site if he lands. That takes a good portion of the countries of the globe off the table, as it were, for a meeting. Our reporting right now is centering on 2 countries. One is Switzerland, which, historically neutral. They could vote to sort of absent themselves from that ICC ruling. The other is Hungary, who is a NATO member, but their leader, Viktor Orban, is considered to be more Russia-friendly than a lot of other countries in the world. He suggested that he could be amenable to hosting that meeting. We'll all be watching it closely.
Garrett, it's also clear that the president wants to move fast on this. But, I mean, given some of the complications you just mentioned, even about location, and then more generally, how quickly do you think Moscow is prepared to move? What are we hearing from the Kremlin?
Yeah, the Kremlin has shown no such sense of urgency here, Savannah. The Kremlin spokesperson only saying that if there are going to be leader-to-leader meetings, they have to happen through all the proper protocols. They take time, they take build-up. The kind of thing that you didn't see happen on the leader-to-leader meeting that was held just last Friday in Alaska. In fact, we've only heard about this willingness that Putin allegedly has to sit down with Zelensky from American officials, not from the Kremlin itself. So I would continue to look at the prospect of this bilateral meeting between Putin and Zelensky with skepticism.
Garrett, one of the big sticking points here for this peace deal, security guarantees for Ukraine. The president said in that Oval Office meeting with President Zelensky that the U.S. would be prepared to provide some type of support for Ukraine. It looks, though, like we mentioned earlier, boots on the ground won't be part of that, right?
That's the current thinking, Savannah, but this has changed several times in the past couple of days. The president at first dismissing questions about whether boots on the ground would be required, then saying he wouldn't want to do it, then the press secretary yesterday being much more definitive. Here's what Caroline Levitt said.
The president understands security guarantees are crucially important to ensure a lasting peace, and he has directed his national security team to coordinate with our friends in Europe and also to continue to cooperate and discuss these matters with Ukraine and Russia as well. I won't certainly rule out anything as far as military options that the president has at his disposal. I'll let him do that. I can tell you he's definitively ruled out boots on the ground.
Savannah, part of the challenge with all this is boots on the ground sort of sounds like it's such a vague term. Does that involve American air support? Well, what happens if an American pilot gets shot down? Does it involve American technology? Who's staffing that technology? And what would the American commitment be if a French peacekeeper, let's say, gets killed in Ukraine? These are highly technical questions that are going to take some time to work out.
All right, Garrett Hake, a lot unfolding here. Thank you very much.
The Trump administration is preparing to send warships to the Caribbean in an attempt to deal with drug trafficking.
And it comes as tensions rise with Venezuela. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has more on this story.
The Trump administration is cracking down on drug cartels at sea. A source briefed on the matter tells NBC News the U.S. is planning to deploy these 3 warships near Venezuela. President Trump focusing on drugs coming to the coasts after reducing illegal border crossings to record lows.
They continue to send drugs into our country, Venezuela. They've been very nasty.
The Trump administration also recently doubling to $50 million its reward for the arrest of Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro, saying he violated U.S. drug laws. Meanwhile, in the fight against traffickers, the Coast Guard says it intercepted more than $138 million worth of drugs in the Caribbean this summer. Earlier this year, the president designated several cartels, as well as the notorious Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, as foreign terrorist organizations. And despite pulling off a large-scale prisoner swap with Venezuela last month, President Trump has been increasingly at odds with Maduro.
He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
Now the Venezuelan government has banned drone flights throughout the country amid what it considers a threat from the U.S. A U.S. official tells NBC News the warships will be used for intelligence gathering and surveillance in international waters. Still, Maduro just announced that he's mobilizing militia members across his country in response.
All right, Gabe, thank you.
As the federal takeover of law enforcement continues in the nation's capital, the Justice Department is now investigating whether police in Washington manipulated data to make crime rates appear lower. That's according to 2 senior law enforcement officials who spoke to NBC News. In May, a commander at the Metropolitan Police Department was suspended amid allegations he altered that data. He denies those claims. President Trump referenced the investigation in a Truth Social post earlier this week, saying, quote, D.C. gave fake crime numbers in order to create a false illusion of safety, adding they are under serious investigation. NBC News legal affairs reporter Gary Grumbach joins us now from Washington. So, Gary, the president claimed D.C. was the most unsafe city in the U.S. and perhaps the world before he deployed the National Guard there. The city's mayor pointed to these statistics, which suggested crime in the capital was already at a 30-year low. Do we know who's telling the truth in light of this new development?
Well, first off, D.C. is not the most unsafe city in the U.S. If you look at the FBI crime data, Toledo, Cleveland, Memphis, and Little Rock all have more crime per capita than D.C. But D.C., of course, is a major American city, and of course, there is crime, and it has been going down over the past several years. Now, this crime data incident was first reported by our friends here at NBC Washington, and it involves a police district commander. There's 7 police districts across the city. One of the commanders in one of those districts is being accused of manipulating crime within that district. So this is not an across-the-board kind of thing. It's a very specified, specific incident. He was placed on paid leave, and there was an internal investigation happening at MPD before this DOJ investigation was announced. Joe?
Well, let's talk about what we know about who's running this investigation. What are they going to be looking at? Could this lead to any charges?
So this is being run out of the U.S. Attorney's Office here in D.C., who was run by former Fox News host Jeanine Pirro, a friend of President Trump's. This is going to be a more wide-ranging investigation. I think it's going to look at a lot of the individuals that are at top of Metropolitan Police Department, including Chief Pamela Smith, and to see what the data looks like across the board, even though this incident was very specific and targeted. It's going to have an opportunity to look all across the board, and there's no specified charges that are apparent yet.
Let's take a look. The White House has been touting more than 450 arrests since we saw this federal crackdown begin nearly 2 weeks ago. It's early, but what do we know about the impact this operation is having on crime and just also the impact it's having on regular folks living in D.C.?
Yeah, it is early, so I do want to stress that. But we looked at the data the week before the takeover started and then the week after the takeover had begun. And crime is down about 10%, both violent crime and property crime. So that is an interesting data point, and we'll continue tracking this as we get further and further on in this 30-day period. But in terms of how D.C. residents are feeling about it, they are upset that there are federal agents across the city in their neighborhoods. I want to show you some of this video that was shot last night by our folks here at NBC News. And this is a scene in the Columbia Heights neighborhood where members of the HSI, Park Police, and other federal law enforcement agencies were patrolling the residential area, and they were literally chased out of the area from their patrols by this crowd of peaceful but loud people. And I think this is the kind of thing that we're seeing across the city when these groups of HSI, which is part of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, get into these neighborhoods. This is the reaction from the residents.
And Gary, the arrest numbers, it can be hard to gauge what they say about what's happening in D.C. since the National Guard took over, right? Because we don't know if it's an accurate reflection of how many arrests are being made under normal crime in D.C. or whether this enlarged presence, this federal presence, is actually deterring crime, right?
And also who is arresting and what the charges are, I think, is also an important point here. The White House has been releasing stats every day. I think we're up to more than 400 arrests. About 40% of those are immigration related. And those numbers, the immigration numbers, are not at all involved in the MPD stats that we've been looking at. So there is a little bit of caveats there for sure. But there is a focus on immigration here in Washington by the White House and by federal officials. That's something that MPD has not been focusing on. Joe.
Gary, thank you so much.
Well, new video shows a dramatic building explosion in Wilmington, North Carolina that sent black smoke and debris soaring into the sky yesterday. Several firefighters were injured in the incident. Officials later arrested a man in connection to the explosion for allegedly driving a car into a gas line. Here's NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson with more.
Oh my God! This dramatic video shows the moment a gas line exploded along a busy Wilmington, North Carolina road. Police say firefighters seen here were responding to a gas leak at a veterinary hospital when this gas line blew up. Debris blasted hundreds of feet in the air, along with a ball of flames and these massive plumes of black smoke. Ian Cross filmed this video. What did it feel like when that explosion went off?
I mean, it takes your breath away. Everything starts to kind of be like slow motion almost. You look up and you're seeing just debris on fire, like coming down on you.
No civilians were inside the hospital, which hadn't opened to the public yet. 3 firefighters were injured, officials say, one with severe burns on his hands and arms.
A vehicle went off the road behind us here and struck the gas lines feeding the building that ultimately exploded. When officers arrived, the vehicle was gone.
That driver now charged with felony DWI and leaving the scene of a hit and run.
There was evidence that would lead one to believe that the driver was impaired.
The destruction seen here from above, as officials say the scene is secure. breathing a sigh of relief after no lives were lost in this terrifying explosion. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, caught on camera, a food blogger's video takes a wild turn after a car crashes into a restaurant. What we're learning about what caused this viral near miss.
But up first, after the break, in-flight emergency. The investigation underway after fire forces an international flight to make an emergency landing. We'll be right back. We are back now with some scary moments for passengers on a flight headed from Greece to Germany. Fire started coming from one of the plane's engines mid-flight, forcing it to make an emergency landing in Italy. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello has more.
Video and audio from the ground capture the Condor Airlines flight with its right engine popping and spitting fire. The Boeing 757 flying from Corfu, Greece to Dusseldorf, Germany, reached 8,000 feet when the airline says it began experiencing a disturbance in the airflow supply to the engine. On board, 273 passengers and 8 crew members. One passenger told the Bild newspaper, "It was an incredible, horrible experience. I already sent goodbye texts because I thought it's over now." Aviation experts say it appears to be a classic example of a compressor stall. Scary for passengers, but the engine itself was not actually on fire.
This is very similar to a car backfiring. It's not something you want. It indicates that there's an internal problem in the engine, but it is something that can be handled safely by either a driver or a pilot.
The plane flew across the Adriatic Sea, making an emergency landing in Brindisi, Italy. No injuries. Condor saying in a statement the incident posed no danger to the guests or crew members at any time. Compressor stalls are not uncommon. In June, an American Airlines flight declared an emergency and returned to Las Vegas when fire began belching out of the right engine, also an apparent compressor stall. While commercial planes can fly on a single engine, the standard procedure is to cut the power to the affected engine and then land to determine what's causing the engine trouble. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Well, developing news now out of the Middle East. Israel has just announced final approval for its controversial settlement project in the occupied West Bank. NBC international correspondent Claudio Labanga joins us from Rome with that and more world news in 60 seconds. Hey, Claudio, good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. Well, that's right. Israel gave final approval to the construction of that controversial settlement in the occupied West Bank that will effectively cut the territory in two and seriously undermine hopes for a future two-state solution. Now, only last week, Israel's finance minister said the construction of around 3,500 apartments between Ramallah and Bethlehem will bury the idea of a Palestinian state. The anti-settlement Israeli group Peace Now called the plan one of the most dangerous to the future of both peoples and the region as a whole. Let's go now to Mexico, where professional boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been jailed after he was deported from the U.S. He was arrested in July in L.A. in connection with an active warrant in Mexico and an alleged connection with the Sinaloa drug cartel. Chavez says who is from Sinaloa, says he knows cartel-related individuals, but also that they are personal, non-criminal relationships. And let's end this tour of the world in London, where fans of Downton Abbey now have a chance of owning a piece of it. From Monday, selected costumes and props from the British TV period drama are previewed at the auction house Bonhams. The exhibition is free, but of course the props are not. So if Savannah, your idea of fun is dressing up like a British lady from the 1920s, start bidding now. You have time until September 16th.
What did you say? If my idea of fun? That's just what I was up to in my spare time. That would be creepy. That was hilarious. Claudia, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, it was a close call caught on camera. This video is wild. This is two food bloggers. They were filming at a Houston restaurant when a car barreled through the window right next to their table. The pair told NBC News correspondent George Solis they are grateful to be alive.
Cheers, my boy. Boom.
These Houston food bloggers had just bitten into salmon sliders when all of a sudden an SUV slammed into the restaurant where they were filming, sending them flying.
The car just came out of nowhere. I mean, it was glass, metal,
I thought we were going to die. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is our last moment.
The bloggers, known as Nina Unrated and Patrick Blackwood, capturing every jaw-dropping second inside Cuvées Culinary Creations on Saturday, from the near-miss collision
What just happened?
to paramedics arriving and their trip to the emergency room, amazingly walking away with minor cuts and bruises.
It's one of the wildest things that can actually really happen, like 1 in a million.
According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the driver said she thought her SUV was in park. When she let her foot off the brake, the car rolled into the restaurant. She has not been charged.
Have you guys actually been able to watch the video through, or is it just replaying in your heads?
Both. Yeah, both. I've watched it. I don't understand how we're not, I'm sorry, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I don't understand how we're not dead.
This thing happened for a reason, and I'm just glad to be alive.
After a close call, they won't soon forget. George Solis, NBC News.
What a video there. We are so glad they're okay. All right, now let's get to a dramatic rescue on Lake Superior. 4 young sisters. They're now safe and back with their family after they got trapped on a small island near a beach in Silver Bay, Minnesota while paddleboarding. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa has the details.
Caught on camera, 4 young sisters stranded for hours on a rocky island in Minnesota's Lake Superior, only to be hoisted into a helicopter in a harrowing overnight rescue, courtesy of the U.S. Coast Guard.
A lot of our training just kind of takes over. You just kind of get focused. You communicate.
It all started Saturday with the sisters ages 6 to 14 paddleboarding off Black Beach along the lake's north shore. Authorities say sometime before 8 p.m., the girls stopped at this small rocky island and lost their paddles. Their frantic parents calling 911 only to learn rough weather made a rescue by boat impossible.
With 6 to 8 foot swells crashing up against the rock, so none of the boats were able to get to them to help them off, so that was why they needed the helicopter to come on scene.
The closest helicopter equipped for such a mission, Traverse City, Michigan, 2.5 hours away. The sheriff saying the girls were only wearing swimsuits and concerns were growing of them getting cold. First responders at one point setting up a rope relay to send over food and blankets. Finally, around 1 a.m., the helicopter spots the girls. Rescue swimmer Nick Mauricio lowered to them.
I have a 2-year-old, so I understand that it's scary. I kind of was like, hey, who's the oldest sister? And I talked to her, and talking to her like a normal person, just letting them know what the plan was and that she understood that, like, hey, you're the leader of the group and I need you to help me execute this.
One by one, in the dark of night, the sisters are hoisted up, uninjured and relieved to be headed home safe.
When the 2 middle children came up, they were grinning ear to ear. They were looking around like, wow, we're in a helicopter. Like, it was pretty cool. But I got them all seated in, buckled in, got thumbs up from them all, and got them to their parents.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News.
Oh, my gosh, they were lucky those were the guys that were there to get them. All right, coming up, food for the brain. New research shows a change in diet could protect women against Alzheimer's disease. We're going to get a doctor's opinion in our weekly checkup. Also, growing backlash over rush talk, why the college tradition gone viral is drawing criticism over sorority life. This is Morning News Now. We're back now with our weekly medical checkup. This morning, we are looking at 2 major studies on keeping your brain healthy. We're also going to tell you what you should know about the dangers of high heat on days with poor air quality. Let's bring in our friend, NBC News medical reporter, Dr. Akshay Syal. Dr. Syal, always great to have you with us. Okay, let's start with this study. It found that omega fatty acids, or omega-3s, that they could potentially protect women specifically against Alzheimer's. So walk us through this. Which foods are highest in omega-3s? Is that something we should be eating anyway? And how does it protect the brain?
It's a great question, Savannah. And so, for those out there who are wondering, what are omega-3s? These are commonly, what we call the good fats in the body. And there's something that the body doesn't make themselves, Savannah. It's something that, we have to get from our diets. Foods that are, fish, for example, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, anchovies, nuts and seeds like walnuts, for example. Chia seeds are high in omega-3s. And so why do we want this, Savannah? Why are we even talking about this in the first place? And you can see on your screen there, this new study essentially finding that women with more levels of omega-3 in their brain have lower rates of Alzheimer's. Now, this is not, Savannah, a clinical trial. This is something that's sort of an association study, as we say. But this is something that, Savannah, you and I share a mutual friend, Dr. Richard Isaacson, who's been saying this for years. We need to have high levels of these good fats in our brains. There seems to be some sort of protective effect against memory loss. And so, Savannah, the doctor's orders here, make sure you are incorporating fish into your diet. At the bare minimum, you want to eat it twice a week. And ask your doctor about omega-3s. You know, Savannah, a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually test for omega-3s in the body. There's a test out there called Omega Quant. You can get a baseline level and sort of see where you're at and what kind of ratio you're working with.
Oh, wow. I definitely did not know that. Also, I don't like fish, so we'll talk offline about my other options. Okay, let's stay on brain health here. This is according to a new study out of JAMA Neurology. People with hearing loss are less likely to ultimately develop dementia if they use hearing aids. Dr. Sayal, why do we think this is? How could hearing aids help with dementia, and what should people keep in mind?
Yeah, it's you know, Savannah, this link between hearing loss and dementia isn't new, and we think it's because, you know, if the brain isn't getting enough sound, it has to sort of work a little bit harder and try to pick up more sound signals, and that can take away resources from the brain for memory.
Interesting.
I mean, you can see it can lead to, you know, a higher risk of dementia. And so you really want to have that early intervention. And so what this study found, Savannah, is that, you know, they took 2,000 people and they tracked them for years, and what they found was that, you know, if you treat hearing loss, if you have hearing loss and you actually wear the hearing aid before the age of 70, you have a much lower risk of developing dementia down the line and developing that memory loss. So doctor's orders here, you know, this is kind of building on some further research that we've seen, but make sure you are getting screened for hearing loss if you are in your 60s and 70s and older. And Savannah, most importantly, if you have hearing loss, you get fitted for a hearing aid. This is something I struggle with my own patients. Make sure you actually wear the device, right? It's one thing to get tested and to get treated for it, but if you're not actually wearing the device, you're not going to see that benefit.
It's such a good point. I've also never thought about the brain like resources like that as kind of like finite, like there's only so much power, you know, for so many things. So that was a good way to put it. Let's also talk about the heat, doctor, because this can also impact your health, which is probably pretty obvious, but specifically as these certain parts of the U.S. see these record-breaking high temperatures, new research is finding that these heat waves can increase air pollution, and then that is bad for you. What do we need to know?
Yeah, this one went straight to the inbox of my folks in Arizona. It's it's a study out of Texas, Savannah, essentially finding that, you know, air pollutants can increase with that high heat. There's something about as temperatures rise, there's more chemical reactions in the air that produce these harmful chemicals that can affect air quality, and they can affect our lungs and our hearts. So really, this study out of Texas, Savannah, where they sort of measured air quality in that heat wave in 2024, and they actually did this at a time when there weren't wildfires. So we know that this is strictly from the heat. And what they found was that, you know, in those periods of high heat, you definitely want to stay indoors as much as possible. If you are somebody who is, you know, high risk, maybe you have heart disease or you have lung disease. You know, during those periods of intense heat waves, we actually have one here in LA where I am right now. You want to stay indoors as much as possible. The doctor's orders on your screen, and I'll just add one there, Savannah, something I did in my own life after the Palisades fire. I bought an air quality or an air filter in my house. I use it all the time. It gives me an air quality reading, so I know at all hours of the day what the levels of pollutants are in my own home.
So smart. Dr. Sayal, great to see you. Thanks for getting up early out there for us. We are in the thick of rush talk. That's that social media phenomenon that it's flooding feeds during back to school season that shows these behind the scenes videos like this one we're going to show you of college students trying to get a bid to their favorite sorority. There's a bunch of them. Well, these videos are aimed at showing sorority recruiters why they should be chosen as sisters. But for some sorority hopefuls, this increased visibility is also bringing increased scrutiny. NBC News correspondent Camilla Burnell explains.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's rush season at universities across the country, and some Greek hopefuls are being crushed by the intense scrutiny and social media attention. Already a rigorous process where thousands of freshmen rush to join campus Greek life.
Delta who? Delta Nu!
It typically involves multiple rounds of interviewing and waking up at dawn to get glammed up for recruitment parties, all in the name of finding sisterhood. But with docuseries like Bama Rush and more aspiring members detailing the whole process on TikTok.
Let me show you my outfit.
And millions of videos posted under the hashtag #RushTalk.
Bring 'em out.
There's also negative attention. Greek hopefuls saying they're getting bullied online.
After Rush was over, people genuinely hated me.
Morgan Cadenhead, known as Bama Morgan on TikTok, tells Today.com she received hate online from strangers and her classmates at the University of Alabama for speaking out about challenges she faced while rushing twice.
Rushing is not easy, and it's not like this picturesque little experience that everybody loves to sell to you.
And Morgan's not alone. Some experts say social media has changed sorority recruitment.
The reason that girls want to be in a sorority is the same as it's been forever. It is to find that connection. It is to find their home away from home, but the process of it has really changed.
Jennifer Carabetta is a Tri-Delta sister turned sorority recruitment consultant whose students hired to help tailor their resumes, pick out outfits, fix their social media accounts for a better chance at getting into their dream sorority. She says the get ready with me's and inside looks at Rush circulating TikTok may be doing more harm than good.
I tell my clients to not post on TikTok during recruitment. When you're posting on TikTok, and even it's benign, they're just wanting to show their cute outfit. They've never done anything like this before. They could just invite a lot of criticism in.
And with more eyes on sorority recruitment each year, the backlash is intensifying, drawing online hate, tearing the girls apart for their appearances.
I think also there are some very sexist critiques of sororities that are just sort of based on these stereotypes of women as frivolous.
Several sororities at the University of Alabama and the National Pan-Hellenic Conference didn't return a request for comment on if they have advised students against posting the process on social media. The post also attracting another kind of criticism over Greek Life's history of hazing that has caused some organizations to get kicked off campus, and over what some call its exclusivity, with average fees for first-year students at the University of Alabama running nearly $5,000 per semester. Simone Espalanda is a sociology professor at Northwestern University. She interviewed dozens in sororities at one school as part of a 2020 study on women's empowerment in Greek life.
Women were highly critical themselves of the rush process and recruitment, and they themselves understood that it really favored affluent white women.
Black students outside of traditional Black sororities and fraternities only made up 2% of Greek life membership at the University of Alabama in 2022, according to the university. It's an issue that brought scrutiny on college campuses in 2020, when calls to abolish Greek life swept campuses across the country. But now, social media buzz and TV shows are putting more eyes on Greek life. Calabretta saying it's driving more business to her. For some students, all of the hype is pushing them to stop posting their rush journeys online. But for others, the crush is worth the rush. Camila Bernal, NBC News.
Coming up, learning from home. More parents choosing to keep their kids out of the classroom will take you to one of the hot spots for homeschooling. Plus, why some critics say students could suffer without the traditional teacher. And recall alert, Walmart pulling a popular frozen food from its shelves. What you need to know, that's next on Morning News Now. Welcome back. Well, since the pandemic, more parents are choosing to homeschool their children. But nowhere more than Florida, where the number of homeschooled students has risen faster than any other state in the past 5 years. Well, some critics warn it could hurt students more than help them. NBC News correspondent George Solis has the details.
Florida schools are back in session as our class is at Jasmine Harris's home. Homeschool, that is. Former teacher Jasmine is choosing to educate her son by herself.
I like the flexibility that homeschool gives you, the ability to teach what they need.
Her son, just one of more than 150,000 Florida children enrolled in homeschools, a number that shot up since the pandemic by about 46%. School districts in the Tampa and Jacksonville areas with the highest share of homeschoolers in 2023. But what's driving that increase?
Being able to customize his learning experience was the core of my decision. Bullying is a factor for sure, safety, as well as even some of the things that are out there about COVID and different sickness that spreads a lot.
In a national survey from Pew Research, 83% of parents say they homeschool their kids because of concerns in the school environment, like drugs, safety, or negative peer pressure. And about 3/4 say they prefer to provide moral instruction. Governor Ron DeSantis is a big proponent of the homeschooling movement in Florida, something he hammered home in his key address at an annual homeschooling convention this year.
Our school choice program is a big investment financially because it's $8,000 plus whatever it is per person, and that's a big deal.
putting the public's money where his mouth is. In 2023, DeSantis signed House Bill 1, which established Florida's universal school voucher program. With it, parents in any income bracket are eligible to receive about $8,000 per child to use for private school or homeschooling, something Jasmine says she's not using. But Allie Gladden, who spoke with NBC Orlando affiliate WESH, does.
We're utilizing those funds ourselves instead of the public school deciding what to do with that money.
In 2023, Florida's personalized education program, funded mostly by corporate tax credits, doled out nearly $80 million to almost 20,000 homeschooled students. The number of scholarships tripling in 2024, according to the nonprofit that administers the money. The funding comes as part of the governor's overall transformation of Florida schools, passing the so-called Don't Say Gay bill in 2022, a public spat with the College Board over AP African American Studies, and a revamping of the boards of prominent colleges and universities. Overall, DeSantis attacking public education for teaching students what he calls the woke agenda.
Our school system is for educating kids, not indoctrinating kids.
On homeschooling, Florida's education commissioner boasting on X, no state offers more freedom and educational choice than Florida, but in some cases, that freedom may go a little far. An investigation by our Orlando affiliate found nearly 6,000 homeschooling students use state funds to pay for tickets to theme parks like Disney World. All allowed, according to the program's purchasing guide, which lists eligible theme parks along with things like game systems or consoles, surfboards, and woodworking tools as long as they have an educational use. For law professor Elizabeth Bartholet, a prominent homeschooling critic, that's a big red flag.
I don't think there's any reason to think that homeschooling is going to help public schools, and a lot of reason just to think that it'll drain money.
Plus, she says the lack of oversight makes the U.S. unique across the globe.
Every other country that allows homeschooling regulates it much more significantly.
But for Jasmine, homeschooling is still the best choice for her son's future.
I have created a structure. I've gained a lot of resources and the ability to homeschool long term. However, if there was a drastic change to public school, then I might consider it.
George Solis, NBC News.
Now let's get to what's making financial headlines. This morning, the FDA is warning Walmart shoppers to avoid buying shrimp due to new health concerns. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and more. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah. Good morning to you. Yes, so the FDA is warning shoppers about possible radioactive shrimp being sold at Walmart stores. So the agency advising customers not to eat, sell, or serve certain imported frozen shrimp from Indonesian distributor BMS Foods because they may be contaminated with cesium-137, which is radioactive. Now, the products sold under the Great Value brand with a best by date of March 2027 have been recalled, and the FDA recommends if you recently bought the affected shrimp, it should be thrown out immediately. The global frenzy for the furry Labubu dolls are helping boost sales of maker Pop Mart. The Chinese toy company reporting sales more than tripled in the first half of the year. Overseas markets, including the U.S., account for 40% of sales. Pop Mart's stock jumping more than 10% in Hong Kong today, and it's become one of the world's most valuable toy makers, worth more than twice as Hasbro and Mattel combined. And Meta is rolling out an AI-powered voice translation feature to all users on Facebook and Instagram. So this allows creators to translate content into other languages so it can be seen by a broader audience. Meta says AI will use the sound and tone of the creator's voice to make the dubbed voice sound authentic. For now, it only supports translation from English to Spanish, with more languages to be added over time, Savannah.
All right, interesting stuff. AI every day. Silvana, thank you so much.
You got it.
Coming up, it could be a game changer for America's favorite pastime. When we come back, we're gonna more on the makeover, It's set to shake up Major League Baseball. And Hold the Phone. It's a unique parenting strategy with an old school twist. We're dialing it back and getting life lessons via landline. That's next on Morning News Now.
We're back now with new speculation over major league changes that could be coming to America's pastime. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred has once again opened up on his vision to not only add more teams to the league, but also to shake up the entire divisional structure. This week he hinted that a realignment is on the horizon, arguing the new format would make traveling easier on players. Let's break this down with friend of the show, host of Front Office Sports Today, Baker Machado. Good to have you with us here. So the commissioner has been flirting with the idea of realignment for years now. One of the biggest questions is what the division structure would look like. So what could be some of the biggest?
So basically this could all be regional. And Rob Manfred said this on Sunday Night Baseball. So this is in front of a very big audience. And he said, look, this would cut down on the amount of injuries, the amount of travel time, given the fact that there's 162 games this season. You would have less cross-country travel for a lot of these teams. So let's put all of the Eastern teams together, get rid of the American League, get rid of the National League. You'd have the Mets, the Yankees, maybe the Phillies and the Red Sox all in one division. You'd have all the California teams in another division. As you said, this is all hypothetical. This potentially could not be happening until 2029 or 2030, so way down the road. But this is really intriguing because a lot of baseball people are like, what could this new structure even look like and how would these divisions be aligned?
That would be so weird to have like the Mets and Yankees in the same division, or to have the White Sox and the Cubs, because you're so used to like, okay, you're in the same city, you got to be in different leagues. All right, so if you have realignment, it would almost certainly come hand in hand with expansion. What could that look like? Because that doesn't happen quick.
Right, so essentially this could mean baseball could add 2 new teams. Right now at 30 teams, you could go to 32 teams. And if you're going from the regional aspect of this, this would mean maybe a team on the West Coast and a team on the East Coast. So a couple of the cities that have been percolating a lot online and speculated would be maybe a team in Salt Lake City, maybe a team in Portland that would satisfy the West Coast side. And then maybe on the East Coast, you could have a team in Nashville, maybe a team in Charlotte. And then you could break up those divisions to add one of those teams in one of those cities.
So trying to read the tea leaves here, because we just already had a lot of changes in baseball, at least when it comes to the rules, things that I think make the game way better, way more enjoyable to watch.
Way better, yes.
How quickly could we see something like this?
Okay, so Rob Manfred is not going to retire until 2029, and he has said he would like for expansion and realignment to happen around the time that he retires. So this will be a few years from now. But ideally, this probably wouldn't even happen until 2030, 2031, maybe even at the earliest, because the teams would have to get the infrastructure in place to build the stadiums and all of this other sort of stuff, from the tax revenues and all these other things to build all of this stuff. So this is way, way, way down the line. But it is sort of fun to speculate, what could these divisions look like if maybe a Salt Lake City or a Portland or a Charlotte is included in here?
I'm trying to think of just some of the classic rivalries. Obviously, Yankees, Red Sox come to mind, and that might not change. In fact, they could even just end up playing each other, I mean, just as much, if not more. But like fans in general are used to these rivalries. They're used to the way things are set up. Is there a feeling of how fans are feeling about this?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's mixed, because I think you're really hitting it on the head, because in baseball, more than any other sport, it's all about the traditions. It's, you know, you love it because baseball has so much history to it. So yeah, think of maybe a Eastern division that all of a sudden has the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Phillies all in it. That sounds exciting for a baseball watcher, but if you're a baseball traditionalist, maybe you don't like the idea that the Yankees and the Mets are playing in the same division. Maybe that sort of sullies the rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox. But to what you also said earlier, Major League Baseball has been making a lot of really big changes, from the pitch clock to all these other things, to add new viewers to watch baseball. So who knows? Maybe a new rivalry of the Mets and the Yankees every single year could be good for baseball.
A Subway Series every other week.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't love that? Easier for us to travel to it. I'll take it.
All right, Baker Machado, good to have you with us.
Thanks,
that was
Jeff.
fun. All right, let's end this hour in Maine with a mom who is dialing up a blast from the past to help her daughters develop their communication and listening skills. Reporter Katie Delaney from our Portland affiliate WCSH has the story.
For my birthday, I got a landline, and at first I didn't know what a landline was.
Molly thought it was a toy phone at first, but then her mom told her it was the real deal. And now Molly and her 8-year-old sister Piper are embracing the blast from the past instead of yearning for cell phones.
Hi, Gigi. You don't get addicted to the screen and stuff. All you do is just put it on your ear. You don't have to look at it. Hello? It's like way more easier and funner.
For the past few months, Molly and Piper have been twisting their fingers in the cord, sometimes dialing the wrong number, and calling their loved ones.
I miss you. If we don't get to see them a lot and we just give them a call on the landline, that could make their day. Oh, hi, Mom.
The whole point of this was to increase their independence and increase their kind of own responsibility.
And that's exactly what happened.
You can plan your own play dates and you don't have to ask my mom to text or call the other parent.
And most importantly, Piper and Molly can schedule band rehearsals. The landlines make it even easier for these young musicians to get together to rock out. The only problem with getting Molly and Piper a landline was that their friends didn't have them. But their mom, Karen, got a bunch of families involved. And now they have a landline pod with about 24 people the kids can call.
We couldn't do this if I didn't have our friends and our family and our neighbors jump on board.
One of those neighbors is Melinda Hall, who got a landline phone for her 8-year-old daughter, Carly. Carly, calling from her phone, says she was happy to join her friends on the landline train.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's just so amazing. I just like how simple it is to just call my friend, and I can really listen and pay attention to what they're saying.
The parents of the landline pod say the phones are really helping their kids communicate and listen better.
It's a really marvelous opportunity to help her build those skills.
Thanks to Katie Delaney for that report. Karen, who you just met in the piece, put together some resources to help other parents create landline pods for their kids and communities, and you can find the details at landlinekids.org. That's what I had as a kid, I had to know everyone's phone number.
Oh my gosh, and I still know them all. I was just talking about this weekend. Even my best friend's parents' cell phone numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And now I know no one's phone number. I don't even know mine. All right, that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now.
Right now on Morning News Now, on alert for Erin. The first hurricane of the Atlantic season continues moving closer to the East Coast, bringing rough waves and some coastal flooding. This as some parts of the country brace for more record-breaking temperatures this week. We'll have the latest on your forecast when we check in with meteorologist Angie Lassman in just a moment. A major push to end the 3.5-year war between Russia and Ukraine. The White House says Russian President Vladimir Putin is ready to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, with officials in Washington discussing possible locations for the summit. This follows President Trump's meeting with Zelensky and other European leaders. The latest from Washington on where peace talks go from here. Also this morning, phone alert. We're learning new details about how scrolling late at night before going to bed affects your sleep. Why experts now think the long-held belief that exposure to blue light harms your sleep may not be quite right. We'll bring you up to date with the latest advice on what to do to get the best night's sleep. And tale of the tape. First it was vinyl records, now sales of old school cassette tapes are booming. We'll tell you what or who is causing people to rewind and rediscover a music staple of the 80s and the 90s. I went to the record store that is here at 30 Rock. They have a cassette section.
There you go.
So that says
They're
it all
back.
right there. Exactly.
And big superstars helping it.
All right, let's begin with Hurricane Erin, which is churning closer to the East Coast this morning. Again, the storm not expected to make landfall here in the States, but we've already seen some big waves and coastal flooding along the Atlantic.
Yeah, conditions at beaches from Maine to Florida will get increasingly dangerous as Erin expands in size, producing life-threatening rip currents that have led some beaches to actually close. Coastal areas of North Carolina remain under a state of emergency as forecasters expect Erin will brush the Outer Banks today, bringing heavy wind and rain all the way through tomorrow. Mandatory evacuations are in place as a precaution.
NBC News national correspondent Aaron Gilchrist is on the ground in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, with the latest. Aaron, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. We have this weird mix of conditions right now, right? We've got beautiful blue skies sort of behind our camera. The sun's out here, but we also see the clouds starting to roll in. These tropical storm warnings that are in place in this area really are starting to make sense. We know that as the evening and nighttime hours arrive here, we do expect conditions on the Outer Banks to become more and more dangerous. Already we see that there is wind picking up here. The surf is getting rougher. Rain is heading this way. We don't expect Erin to make landfall, but this mix of conditions really has the entire East Coast on high alert.
Wild waves rushing in from one of the first major storms of the season as beaches up and down the eastern seaboard feel the impact of Hurricane Erin.
Friendly reminder, the water is closed today. The water is closed.
The Category 2 storm is large and growing, expected to stretch 600 miles wide by the time it makes its closest approach to land. While not expected to make landfall, the storm leaving dangerous conditions in its wake. A state of emergency declared for all of North Carolina. In Cape Hatteras, water already rising, hitting beachfront homes and a motel. In another town, this view from above showing major waves rolling in, a road flooded, though some locals inside the evacuation zone are riding out the storm.
If it were anything like landfall or a Category 3 landfall, we would be out of here. We've got food, we've got fresh water, we've got downloaded movies.
Officials with a warning for those who choose to stay.
We have all the things we need in place to help respond if we need to, but once it gets deep, we may not be able to help people.
And in other East Coast states, boardwalks closing as large waves and life-threatening rip currents make waters unsafe for swimmers and surfers.
This is no time to be complacent.
Rough surf, high wind, and rain in Delaware, Maryland, and New Jersey, putting a damper on beach days.
You'd be nuts to go in that water.
Long Island and New York City closing their beaches for swimming in the coming days.
This storm's impact will be felt in the water, not in the sky.
While parts of New England brace for the possibility of tropical storm force winds. For East Coast sun seekers, the end of summer washed out by Hurricane Erin. Now, at this point, more than 2,100 people have been evacuated by ferry from Ocracoke Island here on the Outer Banks. The state has opened up an emergency shelter far inland for people to go to. The impacts of Hurricane Erin are likely to be felt going into the weekend here along the Outer Banks, on up the coast, really, to Massachusetts, and even into parts of Canada, Joe and Savannah.
Aaron, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, as the East Coast prepares for Hurricane Erin, the western part of the country is bracing for some serious heat yet again. Extreme heat warnings and advisories are in effect for more than 80 million people from the U.S.-Mexico border southwest to Utah.
These warnings, which began in Southern California and parts of Arizona today, are scheduled to remain in effect through the weekend. Forecasters predict the hottest temperatures will be in desert areas in the southwest, where afternoon highs could exceed 110 degrees through Saturday.
NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson joins us from Tempe, Arizona with more on this. Steve, always great to see you. Good morning. So how's it feel already? It's early, but is it hot? What's it going to get up to?
It feels ridiculous, guys. I mean, look at this. This thermometer in back of me showing 90 degrees. You know, it looks like this camera light is the sun beating down on me, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm smiling, but this is seriously dangerous. I'm only smiling so I don't cry. It's going to get maybe to 110 degrees today. Ridiculous. A very serious situation, of course, for people who are outside in this, guys.
So what are some of the areas that will see the highest temperatures today? And I guess we should keep in mind, I mean, August in the Southwest, it gets hot. Right. So how does this compare with what's normal for this time of year there?
Sure, it gets hot, but I think forecasters are warning about sort of the sustained heat, right? We're talking about 110-degree temperatures in this area writ large, so Phoenix, Mesa, Tempe, Scottsdale, for the rest of the week. Same with Southern California, where, of course, everybody's worried about the possibility of fire. Red flag warnings starting up in just a few hours. But obviously, if you look at areas, you know, this area, 110, Las Vegas, of course, 110 degrees. Then you go out to the lower deserts, you're talking about 115 degrees, and then one of the hottest places on earth, Death Valley, it's going to crest over 120 this week, guys.
Steve, also, let's keep some safety reminders in mind here. I mean, this can cause serious health issues. What should people do to stay safe?
Yeah, obviously, loose-fitted clothing if you can. Cool. It's just staying cool. Staying out of direct sunlight is, of course, a big one. We can throw some of these tips on the screen here. You know, search for these cooling centers, the libraries, community buildings. Limit the use of appliances because people are now worried about the grid. Cover the windows if you can. Use fans, of course, air conditioning if you have it. Take a cool shower or a bath if you're feeling it. And then, obviously, check the guidance to be on one of these beaches. But I would just not recommend that at this point. And then one tip, which has always stuck with me, especially covering fires, if you feel thirsty, it's already too late for dehydration. Stay hydrated, so important, so key, so critical to staying healthy in this extreme heat.
Steve, get indoors, stay cool. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, missing from that list, don't do live shots all day long.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the latest on what to expect from from Hurricane Erin.
That means Angie Lassman's back with us. She is tracking the storm for us. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. We'll get to some of that heat as well and give you a kind of an idea of when we could see some relief over there. But in the meantime, we've got to check in on Hurricane Erin with the latest update. Category 2 still, 100-mile-per-hour winds, now 400 miles to the south-southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and still moving northwest at 13 miles per hour. We're going to continue that northerly kind of shift here as we get through the next couple of days, but that means that this system is going to pass just to the east of the Carolinas. And we've already seen conditions deteriorating there in the short term, but this is going to last here over the next day or so. We've got the potential to see wave heights 10 to 20 feet. That, of course, going to cause some major beach erosion, make surf dangerous. You'll see those high rip current risks up and down those East Coast beaches. This is something that is going to last through at least the end of the week for some of these locations. The beach erosion, the overwash of roads, all going to see kind of a culmination here as we get through the next couple of days of that, as this system is just to our east. So not expecting any direct kind of impacts, but the indirect impacts as the system sits offshore for sure. 2 to 4 feet of these storm surge numbers expected anywhere from Kill Devil Hills down to Cape Hatteras and down towards Atlantic Beach. On top of that, this wind field is going to expand. So this means that we'll see it kind of get a little larger in the short term. And then that means that places like Cape Hatteras and locations surrounding it could see the impact of some of these tropical storm force winds. So 30, 40, 50 plus mile per hour tropical storm force winds are expected. The strongest of that will be centered across the mid-Atlantic coast both today and tomorrow. And of course, we're not just watching Erin. We've got a couple other spots to watch here across parts of the Atlantic. 2 locations, one tropical disturbance with a 40% chance of development just off the coast of Africa, and then another farther to the west that has a chance of development over the next 7 days of 60%. Too early to tell exactly what either of these will do, but you know, we are rolling closer to the potential of, or to the peak of hurricane season. So the potential of systems developing, of course, increasing. We do have a chance to see this one become a tropical depression by the time we get into this weekend. So heads up there. And as if that wasn't enough, we've also got some rain that we're tracking across the northeast and southern New England. We'll see some pockets of heavy rain lasting into the evening hours tonight, and then even tomorrow as that system passes to the east, we'll have kind of some scattered showers across parts of the southeast. And as you heard Steve mentioning, we've got heat alerts for a whole lot of folks. The south, the southwest, even a couple of pockets of the northern plains. 60 million people in total as our temperatures are potentially record-breaking today. You can see the next couple of days, we've got a couple dozen potential records across this same region. And it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of relief in sight. Essentially, it's the 90s, it's the triple digits across this area. So 111 for Phoenix today, 97 for Billings, high 90s for Salt Lake City. And more of the same tomorrow. You can see the triple digits for Modesto, Redding, Las Vegas, Phoenix, all locations, even Pierre ending up close to or at the 90s over the next couple of days, guys. And the East, well, we're right where we should be. Seasonably warm for late summer. So I think finding your cool spot, just like Steve said, going to be the best advice for the next couple of days.
100 in South Dakota.
I know.
I feel lucky with what we're getting right now.
Me too. It's beautiful outside in New York.
It is. Sorry, everybody.
Rub it in.
Thanks, Angie.
President Trump is stepping up efforts to arrange face-to-face peace talks between Russia's President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. The White House is already weighing possible locations and dates for a summit, but the president has ruled out the use of U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine as part of any security guarantees. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander joins us with the latest. Peter, good morning.
Joe, good morning. For all the urgent talks and in-person meetings, both in Alaska and here at the White House in recent days, it is increasingly clear that a sit-down between the two sides and ultimately the end of this war is not going to happen overnight. The White House wants the Zelensky-Putin face-to-face to happen soon, but just within the last couple of hours, we're hearing from Russia's foreign minister who says that security discussions like those here earlier this week without Moscow's involvement are, in his words, quote, a road to nowhere.
Overnight fiery strikes across Ukraine amid the push for peace. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky writing, the strikes, quote, only confirm the need to put pressure on Moscow. While President Trump is pinning his hopes for peace on direct talks between Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I thought it would be better if they met without me, just to see. I want to see what goes on.
The president saying he would join a future session with both leaders if needed.
If necessary, and it probably would be, but if necessary, I'll go and I'll probably be able to get it closed.
In what would be a key development, the White House says Putin has agreed to meet with Zelensky, but Russia has yet to say so publicly, tempering expectations. President Trump also saying he is not sure how serious the Russian leader is about ending the war.
I think Putin is tired of it. I think they're all tired of it, but you never know. We're going to see where it all goes. It's possible that he doesn't want to make a deal.
Overnight, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff shifting some responsibility to Ukraine, saying the president believes accepting a peace deal will be up to that country.
He's got a real sense of what it's going to take for Ukraine to meet in the middle and to move the Russians.
From Ukraine's perspective, security guarantees are needed for any agreement. President Trump now saying no American ground troops will be used there.
Well, you have my assurance, and I'm president.
After not ruling it out the day before. But the president says he's open to providing U.S. military air support. Still, Russia has said a peacekeeping effort that includes any NATO member in Ukraine would be unacceptable. Discussing the possibility of peace, President Trump joked that ending the war could boost his odds of getting into heaven.
I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
So as for those Putin-Zelensky talks, the White House wants them to happen face-to-face in the coming weeks. And among the possible locations right now, Budapest, Hungary, and Geneva, Switzerland. That's according to a senior administration official. One possible complicating factor here, Joe and Savannah, is that Vladimir Putin, of course, still faces an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court for alleged war crimes. That rules out a lot of countries where he cannot travel. But Switzerland's foreign minister has said that it would grant Putin immunity if a summit is decided to happen there. Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you.
We have more details this morning about a dramatic scene in North Carolina.
A building exploded after a gas leak rupture yesterday, and it happened while firefighters were inside, making sure no one was in harm's way. Police say it was all caused by a hit and run. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock is here with the details on this. Sam, good morning.
Yeah, guys, good morning. Dramatic, and that may not even do it justice when you look at this video of the explosion, which shows just how devastating and potentially deadly this could have been. A fireball erupting, a geyser of debris just shooting high into the sky. 4 firefighters were injured, but everybody is expected to survive. They've been conducting, as Savannah mentioned, a primary search, according to law enforcement, ensuring nobody was inside when suddenly they became the ones in danger. This is the shocking moment. A nearly completed veterinary hospital in Wilmington, North Carolina exploded with 4 firefighters inside. The violent blast sending a tower of debris, flames, and thick smoke shooting into the sky as crews rushed to help those trapped.
We train every day to make sure that we're ready for something at this level.
Officials say firefighters were responding to a gas leak after 46-year-old Jason Beach drove into the building, striking a gas meter.
When officers arrived, the vehicle was gone, so it was a hit and run.
Firefighters were making sure the building was empty when about 20 minutes later, just as Ian Cross was taking this video, combustion.
The entire second floor just lifted off. And it was, I mean, I could feel it in my chest, and it knocked me back.
The force of the explosion so powerful, Cross said it knocked the wind out of him.
It's just like this invisible hand just whacked you in the chest and pushed you back.
4 firefighters were hospitalized, one with severe burns on their hands and arms. Police say the driver was found and arrested a short time later. He's set to appear in court today on multiple charges, including hit and run, possession of drug paraphernalia, and DWI with serious injury.
There was evidence that would lead one to believe that the driver was impaired.
This morning, the community shaken as an investigation gets underway.
I'll tell you this, it was really scary.
Yeah, so police say that 3 of the 4 injured firefighters are now out of the hospital. The 4th, though, was moved to a specialized burn unit for treatment. No word right now on how that person is doing. There was some fortunate timing here as well, guys. Authorities say the building was under construction, set to open just a few weeks from now. Had it been open and it was populated, this was a veterinary medical center, could have been a very different situation.
Oh, gosh.
Good thing no one else was in there, yeah.
That was lucky. All right,
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
For the first time in 30 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics is issuing vaccine guidance that is vastly different from the CDC. In new guidelines released yesterday, The organization strongly recommended that children between 6 months and 2 years old get a COVID-19 shot. Also advised older children with lung disease or other chronic illnesses get vaccinated.
This comes as experts say 2 highly contagious new variants are fueling a summer surge in at least 45 states.
NBC News medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel joins us now. Dr. Patel, good morning. So we'll get to that summer COVID wave in just a moment. But first, just walk us through this new pediatric guidance for COVID shots and why it is so different now from the CDC's recommendations.
Yeah, good morning, Joe and Savannah. This is definitely a departure for what we've seen. So the American Academy of Pediatrics basically said that they are making a blanket recommendation for 6 months to 2 years, no matter whether you've had a previous vaccination or infection, to receive this year's vaccine shot. So just to be clear, it's a blanket recommendation, and that's different. And then if you're older than 2 years or 2 to 18 years, you have to consult with a health professional, certain risk categories. And that's where the departure is really this blanket recommendation for young babies and children. And currently the HHS CDC recommendations are, if you look on the website, are to discuss this with your health professional, what we would call shared decision making. So the departure really is around this younger age. And I think in general, just basically sending a signal that the evidence does not support what HHS's recommendations are.
Doctor, there are 2 new COVID variants. Let's talk about that. It's rapidly spreading across parts of the country right now. The first one, I think, is called Nimbus. That's the dominant strain. It makes up nearly half of the cases in the U.S. The second one, Stratus, it's the 3rd most dominant in the U.S. What do people need to know about these strains and their symptoms? I think we used to hear, there's a new strain and it kind of is almost like PTSD, but obviously we're not talking about it as much now. What do we need to know?
Yeah, I think, Savannah, first of all, these are all kind of Omicron subvariants. So we have been talking about Omicron for several years now. And this is still kind of the dominant virus or the version of COVID. But these are, as you mentioned, these are variants and strains, Nimbus and Stratus. We do see some different symptoms. I've been seeing with Nimbus a bit of what I describe kind of razor sore throat. So it feels like you swallowed glass, that feeling that probably all of us who've had it kind of remember. Those are commonly seen with the Nimbus variant. With Stratus, we're seeing a lot of GI symptoms, some headache. You see on the screen here some other things like classic fatigue and chills, but I'm also seeing hoarseness of the voice. Basically, Savannah, you name it, the symptom coming in, we're now checking for COVID because of that uptick that we're seeing all around the country.
And I know it's harder to really measure how vast COVID is right now because people aren't testing as much and those tests aren't getting reported anymore. So just how concerned should people be about these new variants?
Well, the good news, Joe, is that we do have this wastewater monitoring surveillance system. I know that we've had a lot of bleak news about public health and things that have happened. And what I can say is that what we still have is infrastructure to understand what the infection rates are by looking at our wastewater. It was one of the great achievements of the COVID pandemic to actually put this into place. So we are monitoring and able to also see hospital levels. We are seeing the uptick that we would expect around this time of the year, the fall, people going back into schools, indoors, spending more time around each other and not outdoors. But I do think that this is a good reason to call out that as the country is changing their recommendations around the shots, people should take precautions and think about getting your COVID vaccine, particularly if you're in that 6 month to 2 year age group. And then honestly, anybody under the age of 65 who's healthy, I'm not sure if insurance or pharmacies will be able to easily get you the vaccine after the Food and Drug Administration makes some of the changes to the label. So in light of everything we've been talking about, nothing is giving me concern clinically. But I do think that the vaccines that we have could shift in terms of their availability in the next months.
Doctor, give us some quick reminders, because we mostly haven't been wearing masks or distancing, that kind of thing. But as we're handling this quickly, tell us how we can stay safe.
Yeah, number one is think about getting that vaccine just because it can help from some of those severe symptoms, keep you out of the hospital, keep you from the things we care about. So that's number one. Number two, I do think that doing anything you can, if you've got symptoms or exposure, to get tested. We have a lot of tests, but we're taking it for granted, as you said, that we're not necessarily doing it. Make sure that you still stay away from others. If you are sick and you find out that you are positive, check into whether or not you qualify for treatment. And as you mentioned, masks and hand washing do work. I've gone back to wearing masks outside of my clinic in crowded areas like boarding an airplane.
Dr. Patel, as always, appreciate your advice. Thank you. Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, we're learning more about the effects that scrolling on your phone is having on your sleep. What experts are now saying about the effects of blue light before bedtime.
Up first, though, a new warning this morning regarding hackers and artificial intelligence. We'll tell you how the rapidly evolving technology could put businesses at risk.
We are back with the so-called artificial intelligence arms race. In recent months, cybersecurity experts say hackers everywhere are now using AI. And it's not just cyber criminals, spies, researchers, even corporate defenders are all using AI as part of their digital security network. In part, this is due to large language models like ChatGPT. They're getting more adept at processing instructions, translating plain language into computer code, and identifying and summarizing documents. But experts warn the technology could put companies at risk if there are no safety guardrails. NBC News reporter Kevin Collier joins us with more on this. He covers cybersecurity, privacy, and technology policy. Kevin, good morning. So I know one of the recent incidents of hackers using AI happened this summer. Russian intelligence was caught for what was believed to be the first time using AI chatbots to build malicious code. Walk us through what happened here.
Joe, we know that Russia's hackers are constantly trying to break into Ukrainian computers and American and NATO, for what that's worth as well. They did it before the war. They're doing it even more now as the war rages on. So computers have a lot of files. That's a lot of man hours to sift through everything, right? And that's one of the areas where AI is particularly adept, is going through large reams of information and then summarizing it. So what Russia was caught doing this summer for the first time, as far as we're aware, is bundling an AI chatbot in with its malicious software so that if anyone downloads it, it will automatically sift through for files with intelligence value and then send that specifically back to Moscow.
So I know you spoke to several experts in your recent reporting, and one of them said that there's one specific thing that's on the rise. Tell us what that is and what it could mean for stopping criminal hackers.
So it's agentic AI. It's kind of the next big thing on the horizon. That's where you give AI more direct and complicated tasks. Like you say, hey, write an email for me. Not just write it, but also send it to my closest family and friends. Or you might say, program me this game and then run the game on my computer. But if you step back and think about it for a second, in order for AI to do all of that, you have to give it permissions. You have to give it access to your email account, give it access to run programs. Now, if you extend that a little bit, you think of all the companies that are laying off workers, IT workers and programmers especially, and replacing them with AI that have all these permissions. We're moving toward a future where AI agents, these complicated algorithms, are given more and more permissions to kind of do their own thing without human intervention.
So what are then some of the security risks of building and then further developing this agentic AI?
So, keeping permissions really tightly restricted, that's become one of the key ways that we fight off hackers. You think of your phone, right? When you download a new app and it might say, hey, this wants access to your camera roll. Do you want to grant it? You keep those things restricted. You start giving AI those access, and what if an AI itself becomes compromised? What if something looks like an AI and defensive programs don't realize that a bad guy is actually what's getting access to your files?
Kevin, real quick, what should people do to just protect their information?
It's a tough world out there. Stay really vigilant. Use two-factor authentication on everything important.
All right. It takes a little extra time, but it's worth it in the end. Kevin, appreciate your reporting. Thank you. Staying on technology, a new program to speed up security screenings at the airport is taking off in Atlanta. It uses biometric verification and facial recognition to move passengers quickly through TSA. How nice does that sound? NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar is at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with more. Priya, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Yeah, they're called E-Gates, and it's a pilot program between TSA and Clear. It's being launched here in Atlanta, but it's going to roll out to major airports nationwide, scanning people in as little as 3 seconds.
You're all set, Elizabeth. Have a good trip.
This morning, with just a quick face scan, Clear Plus passengers are breezing through TSA.
Super fast, super easy.
It's called E-Gates, and these machines use biometric scans, like a live photo of your face, to verify your identity in real time without the need for a person to check your documents.
What did you think about it? Wonderful.
What was the main difference?
Not fumbling for my license.
The lanes are only open to Clear Plus members, which requires one government-issued ID, a $209 per year membership, and a scan of your face for your biometric data.
Just like a regular Clear lane, you have to get your boarding pass scanned. Then you walk up to the E-gate and a camera scans your face. And after 3 seconds, you can walk right through without having to talk to anyone, and then you're off to the baggage screening area.
While you skip one line, TSA still screens passengers and their carry-ons. Clear says they never sell your biometric data and that TSA has complete operational control over security screening.
This is new to American travelers, ubiquitous if you go to Europe, to Asia, across the world. But we are here to make America's airports ready to be on the world stage.
They hope this technology will shorten lines at airports ahead of major events like the FIFA World Cup next summer, which could bring 20 million international visitors to the U.S., putting unprecedented pressure on airport security infrastructure.
I think it's a good deal for people who are business travelers, people that do travel a lot, luxury or business, I guess, simply because it's really not a huge price to pay for the time they're going to save.
The e-gates come after TSA eliminated the requirement to remove shoes at security checkpoints last month, and after new family-friendly security lanes rolled out at some airports to make flying with children easier. New programs that could be a game changer for airport travel.
So, Priya, where else can we expect to see this? I mean, is the goal to get it at every airport or nearly every airport across the country?
Yeah, that's right, Joe. So the program is being launched here in Atlanta, but next week it's going to roll out in D.C.'s Reagan National Airport. And by the end of the month, you can see it in Seattle Tacoma International Airport. But by next summer, it's going to be hopefully in 59 major airports across the country, basically all of the same airports that Clear already operates in. Joe?
All right, Priya, thank you so much. Coming up, the White House is continuing its push for peace between Russia and Ukraine. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the influence that First Lady Melania Trump is having behind the scenes. You're watching Morning News now. Back now with a closer look at what's making news in the world of politics this morning, starting with President Trump taking aim at mail-in ballots. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin has the latest. Julie, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning. We begin in California, President Trump's next potential target in his campaign to ban mail-in voting, because the blue state's voters are among the most likely in the nation to do so, 81% of them, and because Democrats there are attempting to redraw their congressional maps to counter the Trump-led push in Texas. Trump has criticized the practice of casting a ballot by mail since the COVID pandemic in 2020, you'll remember, calling it corrupt and susceptible to voter fraud, even though he himself voted by mail and advocated for it during the last election. And speaking of redrawing congressional maps in Texas, that fight is not over, with even more Democrats there sleeping in the state capitol in protest over Republicans pushing those new maps that could hand the party 5 additional congressional seats in the midterm elections. After fleeing the state to slow down a vote where Republicans are in the majority, Democrats were given permission slips and security escorts by Republican House leaders. So a handful of them tore up those slips and spent the night instead. And finally, to your phone and to TikTok specifically, that's where you can find the official White House account launched on the Chinese-owned app that President Trump was supposed to facilitate the sale of. Instead, the Trump administration is taking advantage of the app's more than 170 million American users to spread its message. But here's the thing. Lawmakers last year overwhelmingly approved a potential ban of the app because intelligence assessments have said the app's owners are beholden to the Chinese government. Trump delayed the ban multiple times as he tries to facilitate that sale. But last night, the White House account went live with the footage of the president declaring, quote, "I am your voice." And that is a look at what is making news in politics this morning. Joe?
All right, Julie, thank you so much. More politics now, and as President Trump pushes for a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, one person trying to make an impact behind the scenes is First Lady Melania Trump. Her letter to President Putin about Ukrainian children was one of her most visible moments during this administration. NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba takes a closer look at the First Lady's influence.
Many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children.
Even out of sight, First Lady Melania Trump's influence felt as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders gathered at the White House for peace talks. Zelensky thanking the First Lady for writing a letter to Russian leader Vladimir Putin, advocating for the safety of children, delivering a letter from his own wife to Mrs. Trump.
My wife, she, First Lady of Ukraine, she gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
It comes after President Trump hand-delivered the First Lady's letter to Putin on Friday during their highly scrutinized meeting.
She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him.
In the letter, the First Lady references the plight of children caught in this war, saying in part, "In protecting the innocence of these children, you will do more than serve Russia alone. You serve humanity itself." Stopping short of addressing Ukrainian children abducted in the war directly. Ukraine has called the kidnapping of at least 20,000 of its children taken to Russia or Russian-occupied territory a war crime. In reference to the First Lady's letter, Zelensky saying on X, "Her voice matters, and her care gives strength to this cause. We are working tirelessly to bring every child home." The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Putin, in part for his role in abducting Ukrainian children. In the past, Moscow claims it has been protecting vulnerable children caught in the war. Mrs. Trump has made young people the focus of her work as First Lady, at home leading her Be Best campaign, focused on online safety and opioid abuse. In March, seen at the signing of the Take It Down Act, advocating for the bill designed to require social media platforms to remove non-consensual intimate imagery or revenge porn.
Every young person deserves a safe online space to express themselves freely without the looming threat of exploitation or harm.
Most recently, President Trump saying he and the First Lady have been troubled by the images of famine coming out of Gaza.
She thinks it's terrible, and she sees the same pictures that you see and that we all see. And there's nothing you can say other than it's terrible when you see the kids.
What Melania is doing is really unusual for a First Lady. To directly try to intervene in armed conflict is unprecedented. You know, the way Melania is doing it is in keeping with her platform as First Lady, and it's about helping children. It's very apolitical.
Although the world's attention might be on the president's efforts on a pathway to peace, the First Lady's influence already part of the conversation.
We don't hear from Melania very much, so when we do, it matters more. So I think we'll continue to see her focusing on issues that she personally cares about.
Thanks to Monica Alba for that report. Monica says she's told the First Lady is not shy about giving her views to the president in private on an array of issues that matter to her. Coming up, we've heard for many years the impact that scrolling on your phone can have on your sleep. Well, now new data shows that some types of screen time could actually help you get some much-needed shut-eye. We'll explain what researchers are learning next. We're back with a look at the changing science of sleep hygiene. We've all been told that screen time before bed is one of the worst things you can do if you're trying to doze off. But now scientists say they're rethinking the link between blue light and sleep. In some cases, they say screen time could even help you fall asleep. Dr. Carol Ash is a board-certified sleep specialist. She's here to talk more about it. What? I'm so confused. Okay, let's start with the basics. What is blue light technically? How do we explain
that? Essentially, blue light is the wavelength of light coming out of those screens. And we always used to say, well, the sky is blue, so the wavelength of light that we're physiologically aligned with is blue. And some studies show that there are individuals who are sensitive to that blue light. But, you know, the science is unclear and, you know, physiology is complicated. So just when we think we understand it, something comes along to give us a new direction.
So yeah, what is it some sleep researchers are questioning about some of the old research?
Well, what we used to say is if you had a screen in the bed and you were looking at that screen, it was going to inhibit the release of melatonin, a hormone that helps you fall asleep at night. And some people are sensitive to that blue light. But for the most part, there's a lot of variables and it's difficult to tease out. So if you get a big dose of bright sunlight in the AM, it's going to block that problem with the blue light from the screens, and you won't have that bad effect from it.
So I can imagine there's some people who are listening to this right now and they're like, yes, I'm going to scroll on my phone before I go to bed. I mean, are there still reasons or people who that screen time isn't a good idea before you doze?
Yeah, and you have to say to yourself, look, is it a problem for me? So if you find that watching something on the screen is relaxing and it blocks out intrusive thoughts, great. But for many of us, the doom scrolling, the checking and the responding to emails and binge watching at night, it's a problem. And they not only keep you engaged, they can cause you to be distressed, and now you're on high alert. And if you're on high alert, that's the opposite of what you need to fall asleep. So it can be a problem.
We have a list here of some of the worst types of screen use for trying to get to sleep. What are they? Things you shouldn't be doing?
Well, again, anything that's really distressful, if you're watching a news show, right? And you're
Except us.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. That could be distressing for you if the topic is really saying there's catastrophic things going to happen, or something that's not relaxing. What I say to my patients is, if you have those racing thoughts and you want to escape, journal. That helps you self-regulate. It's really, no light. You don't have to worry about it. And say to yourself, am I falling asleep in 30 minutes? Is sleep restful? And do I feel refreshed during the day? Well, if you do, then it's okay. But 80 million of us say we're sleep deprived. And it may just be that screen is a problem for you. So you got to maybe get a sleep tracker, see if you are getting good amount of sleep at night, the sleep is not fragmented, then maybe you're okay.
What do you tell those people who are just not putting down their phones at night? They're really struggling with it.
Well, you want to, first, the most important thing you can do is good, healthy sleep habits, right? You want to create a relaxing bedtime routine. You want to keep the room warm, cool, quiet. And 2 simple tips that we now know really go a long way. Mobility, 10 minutes of exercise the day before, get to breathlessness, and what you eat for breakfast the day before. You want to make sure it's high in complex carbohydrates, limited sugar. That will get you to sleep at night and will get you into deep sleep, which is where all the restoration occurs.
So right now, here we are in the morning, is going to affect how you sleep tonight.
That's exactly right. And so, the studies keep coming out, but, the basics, healthy sleep, get moving, and eat right is going to make all the difference.
Wow. All right, Dr. Carol Ash, always good to have you with us. Thank you so much. Let's get a look at what's making financial headlines. Target's CEO is stepping down and has named a longtime insider as his successor. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money headlines. Silvana, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning to you. So Target CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down from the retailer. Cornell, who helped re-energize the company but has struggled to jumpstart weak sales since the pandemic, will leave next February. He will be replaced by Target's chief operating officer. And the announcement coming as Target reports a dip in second quarter sales. It's seen flat or lower sales in 8 of the past 10 quarters. Nearly 3/4 of Americans say they have a financial regret. A new Bankrate survey finds the most common regret is not saving for retirement early enough, followed by piling up too much credit card debt. Now, others include not setting enough aside for emergencies, taking on too much student loan debt, and buying more house than they could afford. Now, when asked what could improve their financial situation, well, cheaper essentials like gas and groceries stand out by a wide margin. And Chipotle is launching a new college student rewards program. Students are eligible to enroll in Chipotle U Rewards and earn 12 points for every $1 they spend. As a bonus, Chipotle is offering 1,000 points when you enroll, and you can sign up on Chipotle's website. You must validate your college enrollment through online identity network ID.me, and points can be used for free food and delivery and other discounts, Joe.
I feel like
Chipotle for everybody.
Yeah, college students might be into that, I feel like.
I think so.
Thanks, Savannah. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Now for a different type of financial news. Tonight's Powerball drawing. If you haven't been paying attention, the jackpot's really growing. And this morning, customers, they're already lining up to see if they have luck on their side. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch joins us now from a gas station in Miami, something we've uttered many times before, where I assume folks are buying tickets. So, Jesse, first, how big is tonight's jackpot? And when was the last time someone did win one?
Yeah, so the last time someone won a Powerball jackpot was in May, Joe, but this is the largest jackpot in over a year, according to Powerball. We're looking at $643 million. That is the estimated total. If you take the lump sum, it's about $290 million. Both of those numbers, I should note, are before you factor in taxes. But you have to be really lucky to even have to worry about this taxes because we're talking about 1 in 292 million. Those are the rough odds, according to Powerball, of you actually winning this jackpot. But we're thinking optimistic, so we thought we'd give people some shopping inspiration. With that money, $643 million, you could get 8 private jets. That sounds pretty good. You could also get about 23 million Labubus. That's if you're buying them at the market rate. I think you'd probably be lucky to even get one, Joe, with the way those things are flying off the shelves on the resale market. And it all starts with this. You get 2 of these guys. You need 2 George Washingtons right here, and you turn that into one of these. I'm not showing you this ticket because you haven't given me a single yet, Joe, so none of this is yours.
Right.
All right, but if you want to get in on it, you can hit me up on Venmo.
I'm totally going to steal your number, and then we're going to have to split the jackpot after we win, Jesse. All right, so I guess then you can't buy 30 million Labubus. What else would be out of reach if you still somehow win this gigantic jackpot?
Yeah, out of reach. Even if you took home every last dollar from that jackpot, you would still not have enough money to pay Shohei Ohtani if you suddenly became the owner of an MLB franchise. He's making a reported $700 million on his contract. So just putting this all into perspective, 643 sounds great. 700 sounds even better, Joe.
You've been covering these when we get them, and they happen more and more often because it's harder to win the Powerball, and that sort of helps us get these larger jackpots. Speaking with folks, I mean, do you feel like the same sort of energy when they're hoping to win and trying to win? Is there still the same enthusiasm that we used to see years ago?
I think we've still got the same energy. I will say, right, there have been stretches where it feels like we do every week a Powerball story. I haven't done one in a long time. So maybe we're back on one of those long, dry spells where we're going to be getting that jackpot going up more and more. I can tell you early this morning, like 6:30, we had someone in here. In the midst of making his purchases, he walked out with a Powerball ticket. But I'll leave you with this, Joe, because I always like to find something really creative. If you don't want Labubus, if you don't want to try to get anyone on your MLB roster, you could buy like 280 million of these.
Oh, wow. Is that Pez, or is it like a Pez copycat? What is it?
It's a lollipop.
Oh, it's a lollipop.
I think I need to see a financial planner. I'm kind of worried about my 401k all of a sudden.
You should not win the jackpot. I'm just saying it right now, Jesse. No, I wish you the best of luck.
I would agree with that.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it. Coming up, a blast from the past is making a big comeback in the music industry. Cassette tapes that were mainstays in the 80s and early 90s now seeing a resurgence. We'll tell you what's behind it when we come back. Stay with us. We're back with a look at the changing science of sleep hygiene. We've all been told that screen time before bed is one of the worst things you can do if you're trying to doze off. But now scientists say they're rethinking the link between blue light and sleep. In some cases, they say screen time could even help you fall asleep. Dr. Carol Ash is a board-certified sleep specialist. She's here to talk more about it. What? I'm so confused. Okay, let's start with the basics. What is blue light technically? How do we explain
Well,
it?
essentially, blue light is the wavelength of light coming out of those screens. And we always used to say, well, the sky is blue, so the wavelength of light that we're physiologically aligned with is blue. And some studies show that there are individuals who are sensitive to that blue light. But, the science is unclear, and, physiology is complicated. So just when we think we understand it, something comes along to give us a new direction.
So yeah, what is it some sleep researchers are questioning about some of the old research?
Well, what we used to say is if you had a screen in the bed and you were looking at that screen, it was going to inhibit the release of melatonin, a hormone that helps you fall asleep at night. And some people are sensitive to that blue light. But for the most part, there's a lot of variables, and it's difficult to tease out. So if you get a big dose of bright sunlight in the AM, it's going to block that problem with the blue light from the screens, and you won't have that bad effect from it.
So I can imagine there's some people who are listening to this right now, and they're like, yes, I'm going to scroll on my phone before I go to bed. I mean, are there still reasons or people who that screen time isn't a good idea before you doze?
Yeah, and you have to say to yourself, look, is it a problem for me? So if you find that watching something on the screen is relaxing and it blocks out intrusive thoughts, great. But for many of us, the doom scrolling, the checking and the responding to emails and binge watching at night, it's a problem. And they not only keep you engaged, they can cause you to be distressed, and now you're on high alert. And if you're on high alert, that's the opposite of what you need to fall asleep. So it can be a problem.
We have a list here of some of the worst types of screen use for trying to get to sleep. What are they? Things you shouldn't be doing?
Well, again, anything that's really distressful, if you're watching a news show, right? And
Except us.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. That could be distressing for you if the topic is really saying there's catastrophic things going to happen, or something that's not relaxing. What I say to my patients is, if you have those racing thoughts and you want to escape, journal. That helps you self-regulate. It's really, no light. You don't have to worry about it. And say to yourself, am I falling asleep in 30 minutes? Is sleep restful? And do I feel refreshed during the day? Well, if you do, then it's okay. But 80 million of us say we're sleep deprived. And it may just be that screen is a problem for you. So you got to maybe get a sleep tracker, see if you are getting good amount of sleep at night, the sleep is not fragmented, then maybe you're okay.
What do you tell those people who are just not putting down their phones at night? They're really struggling with it.
Well, you want to, first, the most important thing you can do is good, healthy sleep habits, right? You want to create a relaxing bedtime routine. You want to keep the room warm, cool, quiet. And 2 simple tips that we now know really go a long way. Mobility, 10 minutes of exercise the day before, get to breathlessness, and what you eat for breakfast the day before. You want to make sure it's high in complex carbohydrates, limited sugar. That will get you to sleep at night and will get you into deep sleep, which is where all the restoration occurs.
So right now, here we are in the morning, is going to affect how you sleep tonight.
That's exactly right. And so, the studies keep coming out, but, the basics, healthy sleep, get moving, and eat right is going to make all the difference.
Wow. All right, Dr. Carol Ash, always good to have you with us. Thank you so much. Let's get a look at what's making financial headlines. Target's CEO is stepping down and has named a longtime insider as his successor. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money headlines. Silvana, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning to you. So Target CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down from the retailer. Cornell, who helped re-energize the company but has struggled to jumpstart weak sales since the pandemic, will leave next February. He will be replaced by Target's chief operating officer. And the announcement coming as Target reports a dip in second quarter sales. It's seen flat or lower sales in 8 of the past 10 quarters. Nearly 3/4 of Americans say they have a financial regret. A new Bankrate survey finds the most common regret is not saving for retirement early enough, followed by piling up too much credit card debt. Now, others include not setting enough aside for emergencies, taking on too much student loan debt, and buying more house than they could afford. Now, when asked what could improve their financial situation, well, cheaper essentials like gas and groceries stand out by a wide margin. And Chipotle is launching a new college student rewards program. Students are eligible to enroll in Chipotle U Rewards and earn 12 points for every $1 they spend. As a bonus, Chipotle is offering 1,000 points when you enroll, and you can sign up on Chipotle's website. You must validate your college enrollment through online identity network ID.me, and points can be used for free food and delivery and other discounts, Joe.
I feel like
Chipotle for everybody.
Yeah, college students might be into that, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks, Savannah. Appreciate it.
Got it.
Now for a different type of financial news. Tonight's Powerball drawing. If you haven't been paying attention, the jackpot's really growing. And this morning, customers, they're already lining up to see if they have luck on their side. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch joins us now from a gas station in Miami, something we've uttered many times before, where I assume folks are buying tickets. So, Jesse, first, how big is tonight's jackpot? And when was the last time someone did win one?
Yeah, so the last time someone won a Powerball jackpot was in May, Joe, but this is the largest jackpot in over a year, according to Powerball. We're looking at $643 million. That is the estimated total. If you take the lump sum, it's about $290 million. Both of those numbers, I should note, are before you factor in taxes. But you have to be really lucky to even have to worry about those taxes, because we're talking about 1 in 292 million. Those are the rough odds, according to Powerball, of you actually winning this jackpot. But we're thinking optimistic, so we thought we'd give people some shopping inspiration. With that money, $643 million, you could get 8 private jets. That sounds pretty good. You could also get about 23 million Labubus. That's if you're buying them at the market rate. I think you'd probably be lucky to even get one, Joe, with the way those things are flying off the shelves on the resale market. And it all starts with this. You get 2 of these guys. You need 2 George Washingtons right here. and he turned that into one of these. I'm not showing you this ticket because you haven't given me a single yet, Joe, so none of this is yours.
Right.
All right, but if you want to get in on it, you can hit me up on Venmo.
I'm totally going to steal your number, then we're going to have to split the jackpot after we win, Jesse. All right, so I guess then you can't buy 30 million Labubus. What else would be out of reach if you still somehow win this gigantic jackpot?
Yeah, out of reach. Even if you took home every last dollar from that jackpot, you would still not have enough money to pay Shohei Ohtani if you suddenly became the owner of an MLB franchise. He's making a reported $700 million on his contract. So just putting this all into perspective, 643 sounds great. 700 sounds even better, Joe.
You've been covering these when we get them, and they happen more and more often because it's harder to win the Powerball, and that sort of helps us get these larger jackpots. Speaking with folks, I mean, do you feel like the same sort of energy when they're hoping to win and trying to win? Is there still the same enthusiasm that we used to see years ago?
I think we've still got the same energy. I will say, right, there have been stretches where it feels like we do every week a Powerball story. I haven't done one in a long time. So maybe we're back on one of those long, dry spells where we're going to be getting that jackpot going up more and more. I can tell you early this morning, like 6:30, we had someone in here. In the midst of making his purchases, he walked out with a Powerball ticket. But I'll leave you with this, Joe, because you know I always like to find something really creative. If you don't want Labubus, if you don't want to try to get anyone on your MLB roster, you could buy like 280 million of these.
Oh, wow. Is that Pez, or is it like a Pez copycat? What is it?
It's a lollipop.
Oh, it's a lollipop.
I think I need to see a financial planner. I'm kind of worried about my 401k all of a sudden.
You should not win the jackpot. I'm just saying it right now, Jesse. No, I wish you the best of luck.
I would agree with that.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it. Coming up, a blast from the past is making a big comeback in the music industry. Cassette tapes that were mainstays in the 80s and early 90s now seeing a resurgence. We'll tell you what's behind it when we come back. Stay with us. We are back now with a look at a relic of the music industry that's making a comeback, the cassette tape. Dust off your boom boxes. It was the most popular way to buy music in the 80s, but sales plummeted in the 90s after CDs hit the scene. But we live in a world with auto reverse. During the pandemic, cassette sales started going back up, and now some of the biggest names in music are powering the resurgence.
This is my brand new album.
Taylor Swift might have been holding vinyl when she unveiled her 12th album, but she's also selling a sparkly orange cassette, a sign that even this archaic format can have its own new era.
My mother was about to throw this away. Cassette tapes.
The data company Luminate found in 2023 more than 436,000 cassettes were sold in the U.S., way up from 80,000 in 2015. People who weren't even born when cassettes were the norm are feeding the rebound, with 9% of Gen Z music listeners purchasing a cassette in the past year.
I think cassettes are the most human music format, and part of the reason is you don't skip around from song to song, you don't fast forward or rewind, and you're just kind of surrendering to the music as the artist designed it to flow from song to song.
Rough Trade Record Store in New York actually has a cassette section.
Cassette's my favorite analog medium personally.
Why is that?
Well, they're light, they're portable, they're relatively inexpensive, and if you still want that analog sound, you got it.
And the cassettes sold here aren't used, they're new. Olivia Alexander's sister collects them.
I was confused because she doesn't have a cassette player.
So she can't listen to them?
No, I've been working on getting her a cassette player for either her birthday or Christmas, but
At least she can display the cassettes like trophies, something you can't do with streaming. Though when hundreds of feet of delicate tape are wrapped around two spools, snags are inevitable.
If the tape gets out, you have to take a pencil and put it through the thing and rewind it and hope it sounds good.
Still, cassettes have been loyal companions over the years.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Whether in a car in Wayne's World, or tucked in a portable Walkman in Guardians of the Galaxy. Or hoisted high above your head in a blaring boombox that doesn't double as a phone.
All my instincts
cassette reminds us sometimes it's nice to rewind.
Cassettes still aren't as popular as vinyl and CDs right now. Take Taylor Swift's 11th album, The Tortured Poets Department. It offered 4 different cassette versions, and all Illuminate says she sold about 21,000 copies. It's a sliver of overall sales, but for those who buy them, they're true die-hard fans. And musicians like Swift, Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter are giving those fans what they want. That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now. Stay with us. The news continues right now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.